critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happen in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing, and inexplicable situation after much cogitation on this clandestine and surreptitious, furtive. He said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like egg. Once broken, they are gone. Once spoken, they remain indelible in the heart of man." Come to think of it, do they have the powers, the spiritualism, the abracadabra, the voodoo to perform the magic, and as well transmogrifically transmute and transfigurate this ugly, debilitating, and exasperating situation? I saw it. The locution, "I am not a magician," in its jocularity in quote 1. 2, the uncircumscribed bluster and in a vituperative ululation. I saw it in their hocus pocus explicandum, explication, elucidation, where we thought the shibboleth was a travesty and a parody to lampoon the masses expected a limousinary from the government. After the miserly, the niggardly, the chaser-pairing, the penurious, and the parsimonious, that I will say and remind us at this point in time that this is democracy. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not oligarchy, plutocracy, and aristocracy. The catchword, the byword, the shibboleth, the locution, the conversion, the paroxysm, the spasm are counterintuitively excruciating, malodorous, horrendous, odoriferous, and odorous. But I pray that is so much acclimatized transmogrification, is so much acclimatized transmutation. It's not an act of sarcasm. Could it be that we are heading for better days? Could it be the political Moses that will take us to the promised land? Only on this note will I koto in Japoho, or else I will not koto in Japoho.
Sententious, inarticulate, and uncommunicative on this act of recidivism, which is the verisimilitudinous xenophobic attack on my consanguinities, thinking it is a path to honorificability dignitatis. Honorificability dignitatis is a verbal prolixity, a sesquipedalian word, a state of achieving honors. Yes. You see, the vilification, language, jejun, wobiko, an obstinate conspiracy, melancholy that led to this cartel, noxious, and miasmatic vituperative attack. This is barbaric and megalomaniacal. My pain is this. But I've refused to act. What a devitalizing, a petrifying, and a desiccating situation. To me, the belligerent, deleterious, cantankerous, and murderous annihilation, decapitation, obliteration, and mutilation of my consanguinity in their milieu is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and clamorously exasperating. It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious, laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is leca and pulchritudinous, that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious, and enervating lematas, we excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicos move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. But now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration. Now, come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontates, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why?
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much
important. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent. He chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Friday, the 3rd of the third day of April 2026. Great day. Great day. The weekend in Monrovia, Liberia. The reign of Judo Christopher. What a day. What a time. Thank you so very kindly that you join us as we go rear on Real Talk Kings 88.5. Your fearless radio, irrespective of the condition. Very, very grateful to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and every person every day, particularly Kings 88.5 and every individual members. We are grateful to the God, wonderful God, mighty God, the God who builds his hedge around this institution, the God whose providential care and grace hovers. We are grateful. And thank you too for coming on. You great people, we appreciate all of you. We can help but bless God that we can see again on another great day. Great day it is. Great day. Great day. We are grateful. God kept us from Monday to Friday, and we can let the day pass without acknowledging him. He is so great, so mighty, so wonderful. He is the God of million little miracles. Elevation Worship, my favorite group, we go with this one. Million little miracles. That's what he is. That's who he is. They call him the miracle working God. He loves praise. The only thing that you can give God to get his blessing, his protection, everything, praise. Praise, 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 praise. In the absence of that, well, he still do, but he loves worship. Thank you for coming on again. Let's say we acknowledge your presence. You are so great, so massive, so extraordinary, man. And just very significant, but you are aware it is a significant announcement before we get started. The transition is closed now. We're not far again. And thank you, all of you, for the support you have given financially. You've done so much. Every time we ask, the boss goes ahead between 80 to 85, 90%. And that's how the boss AB works. So when we're asking you, it's just a little you can give. The boss goes ahead, and that's how it is. You are proactive. You are aggressive. So we are close. We are close. We are just a few days away from broadcasting from Central Monrovia, Front Street. And a couple of days, we will be broadcasting from Painesville. And it's good, it's conducive, it's profitable, just everything positive goes with the relocation, or what your understanding of relocation is good. So thank you again, but we can tell you to stop because we're not on the air from that side. We need you. We still need you to help us get on the air from Painesville. But the boss, AB, has gone 85 to 90%. So we only need you to do the remaining by dropping in the box King support basket, as you have always been supportive of the basket. In a couple of days, we will be broadcasting from that side. We'll still be together. We are still together. We are together forever. It is a marriage, even though no law binds any covenant, but we are together. We are together by commitment, by just everything. Again, the basket, the send wave, 0555 885 885. 0555 885 885. That's the send wave. 0555 885 885. Liberia's mobile money number 0777 017 885. 0777 017 885. Liberia's mobile money number 0777 017 885. Today is our last day broadcasting from this side. The show is on presently. Newton Tokpai and the Diaspora team will be on this evening. And then after that, Kings 88.5 will be off the air for not long, a week, just a week, not long. So today is the stair. You want to put it at the 7th or beyond the 7th. When you're doing, when you are planning, you can be definitive. You always leave room, but you have your number. So we put it at 1 week. In reasoning, there are other factors that will evolve suddenly, accidentally. So there is room to deal with that. So we put it at weeks, that's 7 days, 8 days, just put it at 10 days, not long. And then we are back on the air. The advantage is, or the advantages are, one of the advantages, we will be covering almost the entire country. We've been talking to you, asking you to help us to complement our effort from the very first day. And you did. You continue to do. Some of you didn't know why we were requesting, but you did give. Thank you so much. That's one of it. We were upgrading and we stay upgrading. We are approaching a year that is going to be very decisive. Before 2029, there's 2020. We are in 2026. There's 2027. There's 2028. It's going to be very, very tough, very tense. So we have to position ourselves in life. You have to be futuristic. You have to read into the time. You have to read into the future and prepare for it. We wouldn't wait until 2028 going into 2029. Then we tell you we're doing this, we're doing that. No, because at that time, we will have nothing but concentration on ousting the Unity Party. So we're doing everything we can. That's why we have been asking you from the very first day, drop in our basket, please. Drop in our basket, drop in our basket. So significant progress is being made. Not everything the boss will explain, but you see now, we told you that when the time comes, you will know. So you see, you are aware. So we will be transitioning and beginning today. The station goes off right after Newton Topan finishes with his show, face the issues of the diaspora component, and then that will be doing it. But we will stay be together. We stay be online. With everything will still be operating in our individual pages. Will stay be on. We will continue to do the podcast politically, just everything until we're done. Then we are back on the air. So beyond today, Friday, the 10th of April, beyond today, when Newton Tokbai and the diaspora team done with the presentation, You wouldn't hear Kings FM on Sunday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and the other days until everything is done from the new site, and the new site is conducive. Again, thank you because you contributed. You did extremely well. So we also look forward to you to keep dropping because works are still going on. I did not say work. I said works. Works are still going on. So we need you. We need you. We need your 50, your 25, your 100, your 150, your 200. We need you. Please help us. This is the moment. This is the time we need you the most. Thank you for all that you have done. Again, they send wave 0555 885 885 0555 885 885. The Liberia's mobile money number 0777 017 885 0777 017 885. So let's acknowledge you people from this side for the last time. The next time we'll be acknowledging you people will be from the new site. Huh? I need to talk about acknowledge your internet too for this side. Everybody will be giving the last presentation for this side. Jeremiah Labla, So Clinic, William Gay, Grand Bassa County, Buchanan City, Josephine Campbell, Jean Matadi, District 10, Mulba Beza, Philadelphia, USA, Clady Allison, Delaware, USA, Benita Ndebe, Johnsonville, Jonathan Ballo, Columbus, Ohio, USA, Wookie Davis, Silver, Washington, Broville, Philip Tokba, Dallas, Texas, USA, Rita Kristen Hayes, Massachusetts, USA, Heron T. Todd Jr., Cornwall, Moses Henry, Staunton, New Jersey, Emmanuel Weah, Community Japan Freeway, Emmanuel Broad, Minnesota, USA, Bappin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Jordan Seco V. Dolan, Quadu Bonin, District, Lofa County, Stephen Yakade, District 2, Lower Magibi County, 5th Kelvin Bappin, Nima United, Malu Fofana, 20th Street Sinker, Ibrahim Swain, Chicken Soup Factory, Gulf Community, Venetia's Bar, Patricia Brown, Rehab LWA, Florence Chie, Old Roar, Boyman Caddy, District 17, Otello Gatti, Broville Junction, your residents, and the names are just running down. Usman Sol, Galley Street Business Center, Joan Momolu, the same place. Julie Johnson, the same place, Galley Street, your business center. Jukonti Cheer, your business center, Johnson Street. My dear sister, Oritok Sunday Way Choir. Hope that you are faring well. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for everything, the support. We can appreciate you the more. Thank you so much. You are such a great lady, humanitarian concern. Thank you so much. Thanks also for the pieces of advice to us institutionally. The chairman himself, Roman Rico, Kenneth Board, Latupan, the reference point chairman, the common citizen chairman. Welcome, all of you great people. Let's get out of Liberia briefly, and then we can move on to what we've got on our plate. Cameroon's parliament is debating a constitutional amendment to restore the post of vice president abolished in 1972. The role will allow an appointed vice president to complete a president's term in the event of death, resignation, or permanent incapacity, but bar them from changing the constitution or running for office. The move comes as President Paul Biya, aged 93, remains in power after more than 4 decades, and his ruling party's majority makes passage likely. Burkina Faso military ruler Ibrahim Traore has said the country should forget about democracy. In one of his clearest signs yet that military rule could continue for years. Traore seized power in a coup in September 2022, overthrowing another junta that had itself taken control just 9 months earlier. Since then, he has tightened his grip on power, suppressing opposition and banning political parties in January. Ibrahim Traore had initially promised a rerun to civilian rule, but later delayed elections, arguing that Burkina Faso remained too insecure because of ongoing Islamic insurgencies. Last year, the junta extended the transition period, allowing Ibrahim Traore to stay in office until 2029. His remarks suggest Burkina Faso is moving even further away from its earlier pledge to restore democratic governance. Rwanda has reintegrated 214 people linked to armed groups in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, including suspected members of the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, a rebel group based there for nearly 3 decades. The group includes 178 former fighters and 36 civilians, among them 11 women. They completed a 3-month program providing civic education, psychosocial support, and help returning to community life. More than half are expected to return to Rabuvu district near the border with Goma. The FDLR was formed after the 1994 Rwanda genocide and operates mainly in eastern DR Congo. It includes some members linked to the genocide and has been involved in ongoing regional conflict and instability. And Ghana will introduce a free visa regime for all African nationals from May 25th, which coincides with Africa Day, a continent-wide celebration marking the founding of the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union, in 1963. The policy, approved by President John Dramani Mahama, is aimed at boosting regional integration, tourism, and trade within Africa. Ghana's foreign ministry says the move reflects the country's commitment to Pan-African unity and its ambition to play a leading role in connecting African nations. The new system will be supported by an electronic visa platform launching next month, designed to simplify travel procedures. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. So let's go to what we've got on our plate in this terrible time of the Unity Party government. The government that said some of its officials, not the government as an institution, but some of its officials that have made it clear by their statements, which now everyone knows that they have a sinister plan to rig the election because they just can't beat the opposition, particularly and mainly the Congress for Democratic Change. So they have resorted to cheating, and they've been challenged to do that. They've been defied to do that. Let's go to the police director. Well, a couple of days ago, Representative Francis Foko came out with an allegation against the police director based on a land misunderstanding, that given the nature of the misunderstanding within his district and the intervention of the police, he felt that the police director had something different under his sleeves, and he came out bluntly to say that the police director, Gregory Coleman, Unity Police Director, wants to kill him, and that he was ready to die for the cause of his people, particularly the land in contention. The police director, while announcing the charges against Samuel Jackson over the death of his wife, sought to allay that claim by Representative Frank Safoko that he, Gregory Coleman, wants to kill him.
Trending, Gregory Coleman will kill me from Representative Foko. At no point in time have the Liberia National Police, through the Inspector General of Police, ever threatened anyone to kill them. I would encourage, like I did earlier, Representative Foko, to please use the rule of law. Stop yelling on social media. It cannot solve your problem. They're not code of competent jurisdiction. And file a complaint, a formal complaint. I will also encourage him that he should attach the pieces of evidence that he claims he had with indicating me, threatening his life and that of his family. We don't take lives here, we protect lives. That's what we do. And I remain committed to it and respecting the rule of law.
Just so you know, at 4:15, we go all things into CDC, the coming of CDC, founding fathers of CDC, defections from CDC. Defection means you leave, and a lot more. We try to go into that as part of going into 2029, so you know exactly what it is. Too many people claiming that they are founding fathers of CDC, they are founding members of this, that. Because this whole thing about founding, at the end of the day, you see people defecting. Founding goes with left-hand loyalty. So we try to get somebody who been with the CDC. He claims too that he is a founding member in Richard Care. So he's here with us since it is the weekend to give us all things into CDC founding and those who defected and why they defect, and vis-a-vis 2029, his perspective. That will be shortly. The police director said if Frank Safoko, representative, has any claim, he should put that into writing with all of the evidence. Why that is true? Now the police director wants the law to be the law or to follow the legal path. How can you make a complaint to the person you're complaining against? What justice will you have? Yesterday it was Unity Party, it was CDC police director. That's what Unity Party said. CDC. So when the police say, "Y'all come, let's sit down and settle it," led by Mo Ali and the rest of the people, they will say no. They don't trust the police director, Patrick Sudo, because he is CDC police, and your police director, George Weah, police director, and they will not show up at all. Fast forward, the same thing faces the current police director. So Frank Safoko says it doesn't make sense. He maintains that the police director wants to kill him. He's not going to make any complaint to a police director or give it or go any other place, because that's the same old people. That's the same old people. Everywhere you go, you're not going to get any justice. So you see, the police director, when you put yourself in a partisan role, distrust, public distrust sets in. That is why, as a police director, be there for everybody. But the police director and the police, they are for Unity Party and against the opposition. So there's this distrust within the police from about the police from the public. Then, when did President Boakai get to know our president? Can you imagine? You know what Boakai is simply saying about what about to say, about to play? Boakai simply meant that prior to Unity Party coming to power, JFK was stink. The man said 2 persons called him and told him JFK smelling sweet for the first time. Ego, look up, you're listening to president again. So people, you're calling President Boaga all over. The last time he said sedition, call him to tell him XYZ. So, yeah. When you have a president who really nothing to do, Boaga ain't got nothing to do. Boaga tired. Boaga tired. Fatigue has overtaken Boaga. They're just managing Boaga. Boaga is being managed. Boaga ain't got nothing to do. They said George Weah was leaving, going to Jamaica resort. The man will not come to where the man was sleeping. Boaga sleeps more. If we are ever slept, Boaga sleeps more. Our intel, our insider tell us, and not easy on the papier, to use his exact words. Say, not easy on the papier. They're managing him. They're prepping him up. It's not easy. The man goes to the program yesterday at JFK. The man say, 2 persons call him and say JFK cleaner. He said JFK is not smelling. So he simply meant that prior to Unity Party coming in, JFK and the other places were stink. The people were not taking care of the hospitals. Imagine that. He comes to power. I can't say that I can't stoop so low as he stooped so low. Because I know hospitals can be filthy, bad off. You have administration. That's the essence of having administration, taking care. So I can't stoop so low to say, oh, the other hospital did say other hospital. He knew from whence he spoke, but he said people told him. He said 2 persons told him JFK smelling sweet. And you as a president, is that what you should be saying? He didn't know that he stooped so low. When Rotary Club, I think they did a donation at JFK. Before then, he said the people should start focusing on taking treatment here. Then going outside to take treatment. When Boaga got to know that JFK is okay, JFK is worth that you take treatment there. When they see him, Boaga, they had to fly him out of this country. When he was sick, even before that, he being here, he and his people, he and former President Sirleaf and the rest of the people, they never trusted JFK. Till now, Boaga can go later in JFK when he sick again. But other presidents around the world, they can go to their country hospitals. That's why we have set up the military hospital. He didn't trust it. The man went to the place and told the people that JFK is clean. JFK he said 2 persons told him. 2 persons told him. Where is the man? Where is the president? Where is Unity Party president? Man said 2 persons. 2 persons told him. So it means that he has not been getting a real understanding of the hospital. He president, but people had to send in text message and say, oh, the hospital smelling sweet. Imagine that. The president goes to tell the nation and say, the people doing the hospital smelling sweet. Amen. JMB. Say hospital smelling sweet. Yes, the man. You're listening to Prezo. Where is Prezo?
A lot of people in Liberia, by the time they get sick or anything happening, they want to go to foreign country. I don't know when we will ever be able for everybody to go to foreign country. Our effort should be to build facilities here for the majority of the people. And we have committed ourselves to they get sick or anything happening, they want to go to foreign country. I don't know when we will ever be able for everybody to go to foreign country. Our effort should be to build facilities here for the majority of the people. And we have committed ourselves to JFK, and I'm very proud of JFK now because two critical persons met me one time. They said, this is the first time we go to JFK, and JFK is smell-free. I wasn't to hear them from them. Our effort is here for the majority of the people. And we have committed ourselves to JFK, and I'm very proud of JFK now because two critical persons met me one time. They said, this is the first time we go to JFK, and JFK is smell-free. I wasn't to hear them from them. Our effort to build. Of course, we have very bad habits. Sometime when I was vice president, I always said we're in a country where we pretend to pay and the people pretend to work. We don't want to have to pay competent people, but that's what it requires. You got to recognize competence. To become a medical doctor is not overnight. We know very well that we can't do it all, but it is our commitment that we improve the lives of our people. A lot of people in Liberia, by the time they get sick or anything happens, they want to go to foreign country. I don't know when we will ever be able for everybody to go to foreign country. Our effort should be to build facilities here for the majority of the people. And we have committed ourselves to JFK, and I'm very proud of JFK now because two critical persons met me one time. They said, this is the first time we go to JFK, and JFK is smell-free. I wasn't to hear them from them.
Mr. President, Unity Party President. So he isn't wrong. The people have all along, including himself, 12 years in opposition, and his people, the 3 years he stayed in power, he and his people, they have never trusted the health system of this country. Under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Yema Boakai, the JFK that he's praising today was a death trap. They used to say, when you want to die, go to JFK. When you want to die, go to JFK. When it is an operation to be done on you, they'll say, just say your last prayer. Ellen and Joseph Boakai, the 12 years, the health sector was very, very, very bad off. Even though they have millions and billions of dollars coming into this country. Do you know why the United States government in Boakai's regime, Trump made that decree? He came out with that decree that Liberian government officials should not come to the United States for delivery, for treatment on this, on that. You people are aware of that. That was one of the announcements that Trump made when he came to power, I think, in the first or second year. Because they were living in this country. Politicians, representatives, senators, and just everybody. They abandoned the health sector. The very health sector did not get the kind of budget when health is vital for the nation. Today, Mr. President says that people should focus on JFK, not leaving to go. Not bad. Not bad at all. So here is it, Mr. President. I had thought that you tell your people going forward, everybody attend to treatment, yeah. And we will enhance the capacity of not only JFK, but all of our leading hospitals. That way, the public would trust the health sector because every sector the government has to build confidence, has to build public trust in it by enhancing it, by capacitating it, by doing just everything. That's what it is. Public trust simply means you do what is necessary so that the people will have the confidence they can go there without reservation, without worry. That is why the legislature has that responsibility to do the budgetary allocation. But they focus more on themselves, what they can get, how they can get rich in no time, and they leave those vital sectors of the country's existence. So the president is not wrong. We agree with him on that. But he needed to have gone further, that going forward, all government officials will seek treatment here in Liberia at JFK or any one of the hospitals here. Moreover, we will further capacitate every hospitals in this country with emphasis on government-run medical institutions. Then we know that you're getting ready. But to go and say the people leaving from here, they're going, they're trusting other people. We know, yeah, that's capital flight. You take more money from here, you build other people, health sector, and yours isn't. So more money goes from the country to that foreign sector. So you want to reverse that by issuing a decree. When I say decree now, it's not a junta, something, but just an order. Decree is an order. Not only to go at JFK and say 2 persons told you that JFK is smelling sweet. But JFK has always smelled sweet. Moreover, there are rooms that you don't expect that it will have appealing fragrance. No, especially where they're conducting operation, where they're dealing with different things of the body. There are areas that are clean. You have to, So, Mr. President, those 2 persons, they made fun of you. Sorry. They made fun of you. If I were you, I would not say that. Even in your time, you admitting to failure or neglect. If 2 persons, according to you, Mr. President, can tell you that JFK is smelling sweet in your time, then it means that, oh, God, that's something to look at over there. The same way you say, some CDC person texts you and said this and said that. Mr. President, you don't get nothing to do. Just sit down. We know already you're in a good bill of health. We know that you have age. We know all of those things. So we're managing you. Even if you take leave to sit down for 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no problem, we know. Because we want you to be healthy. We want you to be vibrant until 2029. So we're managing you. Even though we want you out, but we don't want you, we don't want shortcut. No. So we're helping as opposition, we're helping to manage your health, to keep you healthy until 2029 so that you turn over. Because we want no shortcut for somebody from, okay, and to can't tell or no. Our president will stay there, 2029, constitutionally and democratically, he will move from there. So we're managing his health too. That will be doing it for that. Let's go to the last, and then Richard Kier comes in, and then we just lecture, and that will be doing it for today. The Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, was the guest of Face the Issues last night with Teacher Light. And the conversation was not only scintillating, but it was a detailed one, touching on several issues. Over the time, people have said that the opposition is weak, particularly the Congress for Democratic Change, that CDC isn't talking, given what is happening, that the Congress for Democratic Change, as the leading opposition party in this country, needs to talk. Since CDC isn't talking, then the opposition isn't. So by their reasoning, CDC should talk. But CDC is not the only party, the only opposition party. CDC is one of several opposition political parties. And every structure or every political party has different approach. They analyze the signs of the time and the time at different perspectives. How CDC sees the current time, it is not how Citizens Movement for Change sees it. How CMC sees it, it is not how the Movement for Progressive Change, headed by opposition leader Simeon Fremont, sees it. But every one of them within the opposition realm, they speak at the time they find it necessary. You don't find them speaking together, but they will have an agreement on the same issue, like an example is the Weah stuff, but they will not speak at the same time. But it doesn't say they are not opposition people. It doesn't say either they are weak. So for the Congress for Democratic Change, people have said they're not talking because they want to hear CDC talking. If CDC isn't talking, the other parties are there. If CDC isn't talking, it doesn't say CDC is not going to talk. It only means that CDC knows when to talk, how to talk, what to talk, and not to talk loosely. That's party approach right there. That's how it is. It is not who runs ahead and talks. It is the person maturely that understands the situation, analyzes it well, put all of the bits and pieces together in a whole, and releases it at the time he or she finds it necessary. And that is the position of the Congress for Democratic Change. Institutionally, CDC isn't silent. No. So on the show, on Teacher Light show yesterday, as guest of Face the Issues, the party's Secretary General, Jefferson Koji, will speak to that when Teacher Light raised that question with him. And this is his response to that. In his words, they've got a package to unveil. That CDC is not weak, it's not silent, but CDC has a plan in place.
We have a surprise package, an amazing surprise package. And like people know the CDC full well. It's not to brag in terms of disrupting the peace and stability of our country. That far too long, the CDC will not tolerate no longer a single Liberian to be abused by what is known as a national curse by the Barker and Coon gang rape regime, who along with Gregory Coleman, who have now transformed the police into a state-sanctioned militia. We can say to you that the CDC is far more sophisticated, far more prepared to do something unusual in the country. And that unusualness will be something that our people will be very proud of. And those evil people will be certainly accountable. People who are mistaken, intimidation has become the order of the day, and intimidation has confirmed them in believing in a way intimidation, they can impose themselves on the Liberian people. That is nothing far short of acute insanity. Before the year go to an end, there will be a big year surprise. And the Liberian people, if care is not taken, the Liberian people will jump up and they will celebrate. We can say to you, enough is enough. There have been a long time. We have allowed the Liberian people to realize to the extent that they are racking our tools, they are calling upon us. And take for example, what has happened with the Election Commission? And that's why we haven't spoken. And to think that you can take Senator Weah, you is unconsummated partisans of the Unity Party, and thinking you can gamble the peace and stability of our country. You can gamble the peace and stability of our country by the fear of retaining yourself in power. That is the biggest gamble that Mr. Parker is attempting to commit. This country is bigger than any individual Liberian. Peace and stability of our country surpasses any desperation to remain in power. We are not prepared to allow any Liberian under the sun who again will collectively gamble the peace of our country. We have informed our international partner, telling them that the CDC will issue a non-compliant posture in defense of the peace and stability of our country. We will not allow Mr. Parker in his age at this level. Apparently, Mr. Parker, around 80 plus years, believe that the peace of this country is a toy to him. We cannot afford to allow our peace to be gambled. There are generations yet unborn. The Liberian people have gone through a lot. You coming to govern this country, if you are tolerated by the Liberian people, it's not in any way suggest that you are the owner of that country and you can do as you wish and desire. We must respect that always that the true authority is belonging to the people, not the people remain the authentic custodian of our authority. We think that must be respected. For Mr. Parker to think you will come and solve something down our throat, he needs to be sharply remanded. There were charges before, there were presidents in our country before. One thing that remains very consistent is the Liberian people. Every other leader has become transitory. Every leader in our country has been transitory. The constant thing in our country, like the Northern Star, is the Liberian people. They're the group of people that cannot shift. They never shifted yesterday. They never shift today. They never shift yesterday, and they will not shift today. Neither they will shift tomorrow.
Mr. Koji also was very emphatic that Mr. Buakai will have to do the needful. He's going to be defeated, and not a single minute or two beyond 2029, October 10th, to stay on in office. Anything short of that, in his words, he will be citizen of the cemetery.
We have a surprise package, an amazing surprise. And that's what Mr. Parker said, even when he calls for him to dance with the devil, he will do it. This time around, we implore him to say, even his extended relative, Mr. Seto or Lucifer, can be appointed at the National Election Commission. Mr. Parker, we can say to you, he will not stay in our office 1 minute after 2029, October 10th. Now 1 minute, anything falling short of that, he will be a citizen of the cemetery. We're going to show you that. Now 1 minute, he can spend that. We respect that, and he knows that fully well, that the Liberian people are prepared to far more than ever. You can pull your biggest troop. You can think about people out there in our country. You can go to bed. That Mr. Parker will not spend 1 minute if God spare his life and give him good health. 1 minute after October 10, 2029, Mr. Parker will not spend it in that position as a president. He will probably be referred to as an ex-president of the Republic of Liberia, and now he will have an opportunity to face the Liberian people and to be accountable for his stewardship. We are not operating isolation or in vacuum. We are consulting both political institutions. We are consulting both political individuals and reputable figures in the country. Because the peace of our country surpasses each and every one of us. We are talking to people. You don't have to be a citizen. And in our country, there are some people who are not politicians. Those are business people. Those are civil society practitioners. But all have one thing in common. When the country is peaceful, we have an opportunity to coexist. We have a country to protect. No politician, no political institution should ever have the slightest third to gamble the peace and stability of it. If you're president, it doesn't make you a god. It doesn't make you a king. You are just a servant being tolerated and being guarded by the laws of the land.
You cannot come in any given circumstances and begin to do otherwise. So we are engaging our people, both home and abroad, where we can be to make a more definite position. Mr. Braga has an option. If he loves Jonathan Weah more than if he loves Jonathan Weah more than he being in power, he can tell us that. Or we can say to you that Mr. Braga don't have to take the honor and the peace of that country. We're not permitting to do that.
The Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, when he appeared on Face the Issues last night with that caution, that warning. So how do you consider that? CDC isn't speaking, you said, but that is the Secretary General. So the position is clear, definitive. The SG has spoken. You want CDC to be shouting here and there, or the man himself, former President Weah, comes out to speak. The Secretary General made a position clear. And the Secretary General, Jefferson Tamakoji, is forceful. Let me inject this. I can sense why some of you have been raising the concerns that you raise. And my understanding is on personality ground. But we are different in terms of posturing. Jefferson Koji is forceful. The other people might not be forceful with their words, their gesture, just everything. But they send out the message. Koji is forceful. Listening to Koji last night, everybody, you hear the man is being discussed everywhere. You pass in the corner, or you're listening to Koji last night on AB show. The man play. Yeah, the one we want to, yeah. The one. Yeah, you people are right. But personalities are different. Yeah, personalities are different. I'm different. Edwin Hoff is different. Hoff is different from Emmanuel Broy. Emmanuel Broy is different from Rodney Jar. That's what it is. Kochi is forceful. He's charismatic. The other person cannot, because the person isn't that person, but the person can relay the information. But at least you got something to give you that spirit of relief coming out of your concerns. CDC not talking. It was good that Teacher Light brought him on. So at least you, Seditions now, you heard from the Secretary General that they got a package this year. It could be next week. It could be next month. It could be month after next. But it is in the immediate. I do not know whether he referred to in that interview with Teacher Light that he was referring to protests or something else, but he said package. He knows a political package, but the Secretary General spoke. Yeah? And he's playing CD and saying, okay, you heard it? The stand-up bearer will speak at the time it is necessary for him to speak. What you people need to do is to keep the flame burning, is to keep the government feet to the fire. All right, let's read a few comments. We take one or two calls, then we turn to Richard Kerr. It's the weekend. We just talk all things CDC from the first moment to where it is. All those people who were at the feet of George, we are begging him for life. He gave them life. Those who felt that they've had everything and it was important for them to leave, and a lot more vis-a-vis how he sees the return of Weah to the presidency. Let's read a few comments. We'll take a few calls, and that will be doing it for today. Emmanuel Bro writes, well said, Secretary General Jefferson Koji. In fact, in my opinion, you certainly couldn't have spoken so succinctly about issues that surround our country. if JMB and his UP government officials think that CDC is afraid of them, then they should rethink again and again, 1 million times. Edwin V. Hoff said, okay, it's a simple education. That's great. He said, the man never used the word sweet. He said, smell free. Those are not the same. One relates to the sense of taste, sweet, while the other concerns the sense of smell. Yeah, but he was referring, Edwin, he was referring to a smell. And it simply means it's smelling good and is worth inhaling. The atmosphere is unique, unlike first when you came in, you have to hold your nose. Yeah, that's what he meant. Precious Dekukai said, where you go to change your battery, that JFK, don't blame. Hey, Precious. I don't blame you that President Weah took you to hospital out of the country. That's why. CDC ladies, then she goes on to say this old man can lie. So what do you go through out of the country? Philip Tokpa, the old man is a hypocrite. If he trusts JFK so much, why don't he pass an executive order that no government official travel out of the country for minor illness? Lucin Vanin say Boaka is a confused old man. On the police director calling on Representative Frank Safoko to come forth with evidence in his complaint, Emmanuel Bro writes, how can Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman say that the police protects when, in fact, it is the same police who are constantly brutalizing people all over the country? All right, let's take a few calls, then we'll turn to Richie Kia. We'll talk all things, the in total of CDC. Then that will be doing it for today. Hello.
How are you, Uncle?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody president. Only thing you be taking treatment to get here.
You say what didn't the man do?
Papa, China again, must be taking treatment in JFK.
Oh, he might not go China again.
Yeah, when he started today, like to go started too.
Oh.
But he will be first to tell the test.
But the man ever went China for treatment?
Oh, the man, according to the poll say, Papa, you see what? And that signal coming to him, like put money if he pay to buy everything for it. So, for the result, they be Papa PTG treatment here.
All right, thank you. Hello? You went off, Chief. 0772-2399-33 0886-30-4497 07779-80375, the women's line. Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. I'm Emmanuel Ilabue calling from Matipo resident.
Yeah, let's hear you quick. Let's hear you.
Okay. It comes to the issue of Javosi Koji last night. He made a lot of things. So the issue last night, yes, CDC is not the only political party that will be affected if the United Party decides to change. We're supposed to know that they cannot be able to do that.
All right.
Just want to hear also different people. You have the citizen movement for change, the Alternative National Congress. You have a lot of political parties that are here that need to come together with a strong statement that will be able to motivate us to come out in our normal, to give clear warning to Homer Joe Boakai that indeed the decision he wants to take to make this election to bring chaos into this country because he is the Homer.
All right, Chief. Thank you. That is understood. We'll just take a few, then we'll turn to our guest.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon. You want to go straight to the point?
Yeah, I'm Peter David Council. I come from under the street light in Lower Johnson. Thank you for a fascinating discussion. Mr. Sam Andrew, I think just like my Waka have just proving to us that he's very much unserious and even insensitive to the plight of the Liberian people. You, as the president, how will you come and take on the public media and tell other, oh, somebody told me that JFK? I mean, that's complete, grossly incompetency. I don't know when this puppet is speaking. I don't even know if what he can really analyze his statement that he can disseminate to the public. It's very sad and ungrateful and disgrateful on the part of the president to use that kind of statement. It's bad.
All right, Chief. Thank
and
you.
That's why we articulated to the people that Mabuaka is not going to be a good president, and you continue to prove that.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go to the women's line. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
My only thing is the police director who said the man should get complaint. He forget about his life that he lived. My son takes time in life. You got more time in life. You stay young. You know what you did to Captain Billy? And you know what you did over there again? You get in me and certain group of people. What is doing the country you too much. Take time in life. You telling somebody to go and sue you. Where? Police station or temple of justice. Take time in life. You got more way to go. Thank you.
All right, madam. The men's line, you went off. Hello?
Yeah, Sam, how you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, this is Ed McCarthy. Quickly, you know, the president, I already know what the president can already be saying. That is too petty for the president to discuss serious issue like that. So which floor did he go? We have from first floor all the way to third floor. So if you just limit GSK to that of good smell and bad smell, then I mean he's not serious. You know, the president should be serious around here. If you know the solutions that are taking place at that JSK, he will not go tell anybody disease. Somebody call me and say JSK is smelling sweet now. Then when we interpret it for them now, then they come out to say somebody can respect president, somebody can do this to president. And the president be serious for once. So Jeff coaching was right. But again, you know, we will always be waiting and wishing that we can hear from them. Okay, days, week, month, year. We know we can. They will always strategize to come up.
All right.
You know, as a major opposition leader. But we will always be waiting. We want to hear something.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Carr. All right. Hello. Hey, Chief, your line bad off. All right. Thank you. I just thought that we should take a few calls and then let's take the last from the women's line. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm Albany calling. So when you say the Orthodox suite is clear, you must not go to different place again to go change a battle. I only play more. There are few that want to go to that place and they play thing. Even say you go to the place where they can tell the text. You get what to say now there. So people send the Bible coming to all the operation on the place thing. When they small the place so excellency and put our country club but they pay off on it. And they only pay like so many streets. They pay they can fight how to say now. So we say all the that talking come outside they say now they pay they can check people on the PPR. So then you talking now. They put like there are so many people. They shame waiting for them. Thank you.
All right, my Beno. And thank you all for spicing up the first lab. So it's the weekend, it's Friday, and tomorrow, Saturday. Domestic football returns, and the world's greatest team, the world's most talked about, FC Barcelona, is on at 7 p.m. against Atletico Madrid. We can turn to our guy now to talk all things, the in total, meaning the in-depth of CDC from the beginning and the defections and just everything he hates. Nobody but the man called Richie Kier, you want to position yourself, Chief, who is himself, according to what gathered, been with CDC for a very long time, I'm told. Good afternoon, Chief. Welcome to Kings 88.5.
Well, let me say good afternoon to you, Sam Andrew, and to
your name, they say your name, the whole paragraph. Please call your name.
And to the family of Kings FM.
Yes.
My names are Richie.
No. They say name is. Then why you say names are?
Well, that's grammar. My names are Richie Blamu Asamu Wanti Namonjie West Point Namu Mekie.
What do I mean that? What I mean?
But Sam Andrew, that's my name. I am a traditional man.
My man, call that name. Say it again. Say clearly. Let the people understand.
Sam Andrew, my names are Richie Blamu Asamu Wanti Namonjie West Point Namu Mekie.
What's the meaning of that?
The name West Point Namume meaning include I am a Southstorian, meaning from Southern Grand Crew County by origin. Because of West Point, I'm going to die.
You're going to die because of West Point?
West Point Namume.
You wave your life to West Point?
Because look, St. Andrew, this name based on the foundation, because the historical way I came on planet Earth, this is why this name, it's my name.
That means you were born in West Point, and you grew up in West Point, you still in West Point. Your body will be taken from West Point, that you will die in West Point. You made a vow to die in West Point?
No, not the issue because that I live in West Point or for a long time.
But that is in your name.
No. What I'm saying is on the day I came on earth, what actually happened before me coming on earth, this is why this name, is part of my name. Because on that faithful day, on a Saturday,
your parents gave you.
My mother told me.
Name you Richard Kier.
Richard Blamu Kier.
And you added the West Pointer.
Yeah, West Pointer, now make it. Because on that faithful day, on a Saturday, March 20, and when my mother was taken to the famous maternity center, and when she got there, according to what she told me, because she died in 80 years, 3 months, which was 2016. She said when the nurse checked her, when she got there, and the nurse said, in 30 minutes time, you will, born the child or deliver. And after 1 hour plus, the nurse conducted the check again because she complained that she was not feeling any pain no more. So based upon her complaint, the nurse conducted the check, and eventually the pain ceased at all. And during that time, the taxi or any vehicle could take you to where you live. So she requested to go home. So the taxi took her and dropped her in West Point.
West Point.
As she got in West Point, less than 30 minutes in a house, my mother born me in a house.
So you were born in West Point.
Yeah, born in West Point.
And you grew up in West Point.
Though after
you grew up in West Point.
Indeed, though after my birth, my father was giving job in Grand Crew.
You grew up in West Point.
I was born in West Point, but I never grew up in West Point. But after the war, when I came from Cote d'Ivoire, from Eza,
you went back into West Point.
I came back to West Point from 98 up to present.
You're still in West Point?
In West Point.
Your representative, past or former representative, he was in that place for years too. How did you feel? What was your initial reaction receiving the information?
Well, it's God that gave it, it's God that take it. As a Christian, that's my belief. So, and that came and is gone.
You two got along?
You say what?
You two got along because you were this person who was politically firing here and there. You were very politically indiscriminate at politicians here and there. So you and Solomon George got on? You got along?
No. The only thing is I have problem with his administrative conduct in terms of serving as a representative, because I continue to say that a representative, once you serve as a representative, you don't conduct the affairs of the district unilaterally. Because if you do that, that discharge will be administratively wrong. This is why when you look within the PMF law that was crafted in 2009, they talk about the DDC, which is the District Development Council. So a representative who is knowledgeable should work along with the District Development Council in conducting the affairs of that district.
Simply
and it's the similar thing that the present representative is operating in.
The current representative is all unto himself,
conducting the affairs of the district unilaterally also. But as time goes, we will come and start to checkmate and bring the representative to, the political platform.
Yeah, but Richard, why you been sleeping? You're waiting for 2029. You've known in this country as a force, a voice. We have your record over the time that you've been very radical. What happened? What led you to go?
No.
Silence?
Normally, what you do in administration, when somebody or any other leader take office, you have to give them time. You see, when a leader take office, he say in 100 days. It means everybody will give you the 100 days in order for you to deliver. So during that 100-day deliverable variables, when they are not, performing, that's the time people will come out to evaluate. So my point has been, now the current representative is in his third year. Now we can conduct a fair evaluation of his administrative conduct.
You were a resourceful. I say you were because you've gone in silence. You are a resourceful character politically for the Congress for Democratic Change, and the record has it that you've been with CDC from the very first day, and one of the founders. Is it true? Am I true that is it true rather that you are one of the founders of CDC?
Indeed, I've been one of the founding members. Listen now.
So wait now,
wait, the foundation document.
Wait. The answer is yes. Then we'll go further. So you are one of the founding members of CDC.
Indeed.
Okay. Explain how you came into CDC, how CDC came into existence.
Okay, thank you. During the formation stage of the CDC, which I recall from 2004, 2004, during the late Judy Bryant administration, when the CDC was proposed and subsequently certificated in 2005 as a full-fledged political party in the Republic of Liberia. And during the formation of the CDC...
Who made the proposal? the proposal means when it became CDC, that proposal to become a CDC.
Well, there were several organizing committee. You see, the federal organizing committee before CDC got to be a full-fledged political party. And the several, like the late Winto, yes, he was one of the organizing chairperson of the CDC.
McDonough Winto?
Indeed, McDonough Winto. Mr. Sylvester Karika Williams Sr., yes, he was one of the organizing chair. And Oroshogu, it was honored Oroshogu administration as the organizing chair. Subsequently, the CDC got certificated in 2005 and subsequently moved at Bonar Compound, which is at Congo Town, opposite the Lone Star Hair Office. So at that time, the co-chair in the organizing stage or the formation of that leadership was Councillor Bangaluko, where the late Senator Do Sharif served as the vice chair for operations, and so on, so on. Even the Bulu Wilson, the Len Eugene Nambi, Vavle Dolly, Ernest Vavi, the late, and many others, as you can name. Even the former TRC chairperson, Councillor Jerome Verdia, indeed. And right now at the BOTA, which is the Board of Tax Appeal, Councillor Thompson Jabba. These were the two councillors named that were placed on the bulletin that carved the article incorporation of the CDC. Councillor Jerome Verdia and Councillor Thompson Jabba, along with the former Minister of Labor, former Minister Chad Gibson, Councillor Chad Gibson. Yeah, these were the people on the legal board. Even the Madam Ye, who served as the foreign treasurer of the party. Subsequently, the financial people like Mr. Uboti and many others.
How you came in the picture as a founding member of CDC?
Well, when the formation came about, when I was in West Point, we heard about that. I became, excited and started going to the meeting on 14th Street, right beyond the annex of NASCON. There where we started going to the meeting. And sometimes some of the meeting, we used to go 9th Street. Around Madam Yeden area, which is Lakpasi area. But mainly the base was between 13th, 14th Street, which was beyond the former, annex of NASCON. I think that area should be either property of somebody like Orosho Guden or any other of those officials that were part of the CDC. So it was since 2004 I became part of the CDC. Even the battle cry that you talk about, I'm the original producer of that battle cry. Today, when you see Councillor Orosho Gu,
you carved that battle cry.
Yeah.
Say it again. Let's.
And when
where did you carve it? Where did you carve it, or where at what gathering did you bring it out and it became the standard battle cry of CDC?
Well, it was from the 14th Street, CDC starting office, where we started going to CDC, organizing meeting where I get named the people that I get named that the late Honest Vavi, the Len Eugene Amwe, who served as the first Secretary General, the late Gerard Do Sherry.
Yeah, you carve it. Did you carve it? You carve it. You rehearse it at home, and
it was at home.
And then you went with it.
Yeah, I went with it, and in fact, I was asked to be the head of the battle cry group of the CDC because
immediately you raise that battle cry. Raise it again.
It means move from on the road. You that not able move from on the road.
And it stirs up the spirit of everybody that was in the room.
Indeed. Even when Ambassador Weah came from the United States, during the first meeting at the Congo Town headquarters, which is Bonao Compound, the first National Executive Committee meeting, it was in that meeting I raised that battle cry. It was from that meeting Ambassador Weah copied the battle cry and he started to raise the battle cry.
Right in the room.
Yes. Where you are, see Madonia and many other guys that are funny members of the CDC. I can name as far as more than 100 persons that were funny members of the CDC at that time. So when we were there until after we went to the 2005 elections, after that election, go on, CDC were asked to leave the Congo Town headquarters. We have to come back to Ambassador Weah 9th Street resident, where we were until 2009 senatorial by-elections, when at that time, Senator Do Sherry was the vice chair for administration now. Subsequently, she became chairperson of the party.
Were these names there at the time? Akarance Gray, Jefferson Koji, Molba Molu?
From 2005, when we moved at the party headquarters, which is at Congo Town, the name Akara Gray Mobake Molu became active, as part of the party. But lately, before moving to the party headquarters, Akara Gray become member of the CDC.
So when you people were gathering and that battle cry was raised, these three names weren't around.
Initially, as I vividly remember, from 2004, during the initial meeting time, going to 1 month, 2 months, no, those names were not around. It was going to the formative stage now when CDC was about to get the article of to be incorporated, and subsequently, a full-fledged political party. Yes, the name Akaro M. Great, Mobake Molu, they all came, and subsequently we moved to Congo Town, which was the Bonao compound. I continue to vividly remember. So that's what I remember about the historicity of the CDC. So when it comes to the formation of the CDC, the organizing chairperson was not only one person, but the last organizing chairperson who was serving before CDC got certificated was Councillor Orosho Gu. So, subsequently, Bangaluko became the co-chair.
It was by and through creatively that battle cry you brought you and President Weah, or brought you in contact with President George Weah.
No. It was when the skeleton leadership was set up, because I was serving as vice chair for administration for Grand Crew County, and we have one Anthony Senior. Anthony Senior is a Baglivillian. He was selected to be the chairperson. I was to be the chairperson initially for Grand Crew County, but he said the Senate bearer cannot come from Grand Crew. Specifically Sarston, and I, Richard Kier, coming from Sarston to be the chairperson of the county Grand Crew, because when we tussle on that, they brought Anthony Senior to serve as the chairperson for Grand Crew, and for me to serve as vice chair for administration for Grand Crew County.
How many years? I want you to be definitive because you are a historian. How many years have you been within the CDC?
I said since 2004. The only thing I remember.
You haven't left and came back?
No, let me make a point. The only thing I remember, it was in 2017 when I decided to contest in district number 7. And from the motion that I started observing, leading to the manipulation of the primary process, it was within that period when Orocho Good, engaged me that he was to ensure that I been offered a ticket to contest on ANC ticket.
Orocho Good approached you?
Yeah.
By that time, Orocho Good was still with CDC or he had left?
No. Orocho Good was the national chairperson of ANC. I talked about 2017. 2017 election.
That means he left CDC.
Yes, he left CDC. He became the phony chairman of the ANC. In fact, as I sat on the radio to provide this information, it was the late Senator Do Sharif, along with Orocho Good, with Buru Wezin. And per this information, in fact, the late Senator Do Sharif contributed financially over 50% to the formation of the ANC. But when Orocho Good left and you went to the United States, the next name that we started hearing to be the stand-up bearer or the political leader for the ANC was Kwame Clement. But initially, it was Senator Do Sharif that wanted to be the chairperson of the ANC.
So you started
the political leader of the ANC.
You started feeling uncomfortable, and your position, you were not as forceful as you were initially until this information came, according to you, Gould tried influencing you to run and leave the CDC. Is it that he was telling you to run on ANC ticket? That's what he meant.
Yeah. It was during almost approaching the election time. We
and you accepted
one swing.
You accepted it?
Indeed, swing. And
wasn't it a betrayal of your institution, CDC?
No, let me say this, because you are asking me whether there has not been any time I make a move to any political party. But in that process, when Orocho Good decided to trip on to bring in, the former representative of the CDC, Alomisa Ino, I decided to drop back. So from that point, even you asked anyway.
And she won.
No, Alomisa Ino never won the election. I told you about 2017.
Oh, okay.
Because the ticket now was issued to Alomisa Ino. So in fact, that primary, I was promised that me, Takun J of District 8, and Adam, that musician from District 6, that through Orocho Good, that the 3 person was to be the candidate within 3 electoral districts in Monserrato County. So after that process went on, and they decided 24 hours to the day to bring in Alomisa Ino for us to go for primary, they were I withdrew. So from that time, no. So in fact,
from that time,
I've been with CDC. In fact, when you go during the election, I even served as supervisor for the CDC at the MV Massacre. Yes. And in fact, the popular slogan in 2017, 17th Street, which was the first round election, it was me that introduced that slogan, 17th Street, because at that time, among the Kennedy, Ambassador Weah and Weah was sitting 17th place. From 1 to 20, I think 20 Kennedy or 20 plus. But Ambassador Weah and Weah was sitting 17th place. So it was me that morning, popularly, that brought the slogan 17th Street. In fact, on that night, before the election day in the morning, Patrick Woolsey and every one of us was sitting at Exeter, there where we were, until daybreak in the morning. And when I left from there up, straight down West Point, that morning, the slogan that I entered with was 17th Street. So the popular slogan that morning during the election period was 17th Street. Even if you check my Facebook page, before 10, I was one of those who cast the ballot. And it's been posted. I posted my ballot that I cast in favor of Weah and Weah. And immediately, that particular post went. Less than 2 to 3 hours, I was called by the late Senator Do Sherry. Say, oh, I saw your post. Though I was being encouraged by her for us to go and support Boakai. It was the cause of which I left Senator Do Sherry office March 10, 2016. I was on the St. King's FN on Meglin Street, which is by the Aminata gas station at that time.
They wanted you to...
No, she wanted me
you to leave
join
everything
her.
CDC for
us to support
Boakai in opposition then.
And in fact, this information I'm giving,
and you refused.
I walk.
You refused.
I walked in the offices of Senator Weah at that time, and I told him that morning. And several of his office staff were there. The Chokongbi, Emmanuel Porter, Buchu, all the guys were in the office when I walked there to tell the senator at that time, subsequently become president, that my body was resolved for us to support Boakai.
What did you go to tell him? Why couldn't you have kept it to yourself?
No.
Since you resolved not to do it.
No, the reason were things that we were seeing, like in the political, spectrum.
You needed advice and guidance.
Yeah, recording people. And in fact, when I came up with that point, and when I informed him that morning, we Lady Pizzo, Josephine David were also in the office. When I asked them that I wanted to talk with the senator, he said, "What you want to talk with the senator for?" I said, "But I want to speak to the senator." Said, so we were in that conversation. He said, "But you give the man chance, let the man come."
He heard the conversation.
Yeah. He said, "You're giving chance, let him come." So that I entered. I even asked him, I said, "But Senator, what I want to talk with you, I also want your staff to hear it. I just want to tell you, my boss lady is resolved that she will be supporting Boakai. So you got to be careful politically in moving with her." And that was my point. And I was very clear. But really,
and it didn't threaten your job.
But at that time, I resolved to resign from the office. Because when that happened.
And you resigned?
Indeed, March 3rd, 2016, I was on the St. King's FM, hosted by Dave Rayu, when I resigned from the offices of the late Senator Do Sherif. Even she went as CEO. She said, "I don't know what I did to Richard, but he decided to resign. I didn't sack him." Yes. Because I said, where CDC took us from. Because when we started the CDC, it was she that I got closer to. So everybody of the CDC knew me to be. In fact, they say I was loyalist to Gerardy than the CDC. That how I was being labeled by Molu and others. Because during the vocal stage, the opposition hot stage of the CDC, they named Rechekia, Mobake Molu, Akara Gray. These were the burning name of the CDC. On 2 different occasions, Madam Sally met me one-on-one. One at Sempi, 2 at the West Point Beach. Yes, open it. When even she asked me, my young man, what do you want me to do for you? I said, Madam President, thank you for walking into our district. In fact, my community, when people are mourning, because at that time the erosion wiped away 25 shacks, meaning 0. So she went there from a popular meeting from the ATS. At that time, Madam Grace Kwan was the superintendent of Monserrato County. And when they walked in West Point to sympathize with the people that lost their shacks. At that time, the late D-Mo W. Mo was the commissioner of West Point. When I officially complained D-Mo administrative bad practices to Ellen Johnson Solly, during
that
question, we asked Samuel Kofi who was the popular white minister.
Yeah, hold on.
And when she asked
hold on, Mr. K, that question she asked you, what do you want me to do for you? Did you understand it to mean she was speaking from a community level because the sea was taking over your place, or she needed that to break you down, politically?
Where I've been living, or my people place that I've been living all along, it's not even near the sea.
You understood it to mean that she wanted you to stop being vocal.
No, beside that, there were several engagements of people from the Unity Party for me to cross over and support Madam Solly. Even the first time in 2009, I was offered $4,500 US dollar through Madina Wisse, and those guys that were present were today at the Nuka, Buaka M. Jaliba. Today at the Maritime, you have Councillor Zanza Nitola were present. Marco Weah. These were guys that were present September 20, 2009.
And you refused the 4,500 US?
Indeed, because it was intended, me being the vocal person from West Point and the most populated community they won, in terms of supporting Clemency Blanyo Ure campaign at that time, when that on that fateful Sunday, September 20, that offer was made by Madina Wisse, Madam Madina Wisse.
Why didn't you accept the money?
No.
It could do a lot for you at that time.
No, let me say this. Because I couldn't commit my people without the acquiescence. You don't do that in politics. They wanted me to go on the air officially to pledge the people of West Point support to Clemency Blanyo Ure campaign against the CDC Kennedy, the late Senator Dosheri. So I vehemently refused that offer. And Amnimi gentlemen that were there, they're still living. They will tell you, Buaka M. Jaliba at Noka as we speak now. Zazanitola, councillor, who is Maritime head. And Marco Weah, he says, normally I call him the son of the preacher man.
Yeah, he's the deputy at Lipa.
Indeed, the guys are living. You can ask them. And they believe through me. I know that if I were going to accept that particular request and to perform that task, that the envelope that the woman had, and from that envelope, the guys were going to benefit. And it was my very first time living that particular area. I mean, there were several offers, man, even from Robert Sally camp. That's an open secret.
How many dollars Robert Sally offer you?
Man, in fact, it was Robert Sally who were collecting people from the CDC, because I was part of the intellectual response unit of the CDC. In fact, I was the political affairs officer of the intellectual response unit, where you had the late Jim Gray, Adula Mami, who is in the United States now. You have
you mean the one that is supporting Buaka 9?
Yes, Adula Mami. You have Francis Graham. You have Emmanuel Toba. I said we were part of the intellectual response unit of the CDC, because during that time when Madam Sally first term, subsequently her second term, if any talk show is on, at the open the line, you will see callers calling. If it is not Kia Fresh on the line, you will hear Emmanuel Toba from Capital Bypass. You will hear Ging Gray from the Ghana Bell. You will hear Francis Green from the Jamaica Road end. And then you will hear barrage of callers calling. So this calling issue on the radio, we are the progenitors that brought it in. It was all that encouraged the other young guys, like in Memasi Kaba, all the other young guys you can see around the community and all. We encourage them.
So here we are now. Fast forward from that time.
Yeah.
Here we are now.
Yeah.
There is the comeback. The comeback. What is it? What's your understanding? What?
In fact, before the leaving of Darlington Pelina, who served as one of the reporter of Kings FM, before CDC could get the power, I was one of those on the same Kings FM who publicly published that if the CDC meeting the agro needs CDC, but bring 3 to 4 political parties on board to have the coalition for democratic change. Subsequently, CDC will win the 2017 election. I say if the CDC bend to carry President Weah, but you should blend it by bringing 3 or 4 political parties to the coalition. Subsequently, the CDC will win. I predated that, and it was also recorded on the St. Kings FM. The records are there.
So yeah, we are now. We are faced with a possible comeback.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis 2029.
Yeah.
What's your position? What are you doing?
Let me say this. And during that time that I'm talking about.
Now, the emphasis is on
now. During that time I'm talking about, I was not speaking as an ordinary man. I was speaking as somebody who has position in the CDC. So I am a former official. And I need you with a tattoo to fight this battle. You're not going on the battlefront as just a mere soldier. There should be a tattoo attached with you. So at that time, I told you we were part of the intellectual response unit. And I was serving as the political affairs officer within the intellectual response unit. Subsequently, even in the youth league of Monserrato, I also served that position.
We are in this time now.
Yeah.
What is your position? 2029 is ahead of us.
Right now, I still remain a staunch, a vibrant member of the CDC, and a very vocal member. But as we speak, I just an ex-official of the CDC. So it does not in any way negate my propagation within the interest of the CDC as we move towards the 2029 elections.
And that's what I want. That's why I want to know your plan. Your plan to get former President Weah back into the presidency.
Look, we have the method and the methodology to deploy. And that as we did before, we still have our intellectual prowess, but we are not bankrupt intellectually. Look, let me say this to you.
That I know. So I want you to unveil the plan, or you have started to do it, or you're going to do just as you were in the past. Very vocal, speaking to the issues, engaging the power that be today, coming up with realistic criticism, checkmating the government.
Yeah, Sam Andrew, because after the election from November 2023, I've been sick. And since I've been sick almost 1 year, 9 months.
Yeah, you well now.
I just recovering.
Yeah.
And it's because of that you've been hearing me on the radio. Like I just been speaking one at a time on the radio. But we are still loyalty soldier. We are still loyalty member of the CDC. Oh, but CDC is my party. Because when you call my name Richard Assam Wantikia, the people on the other side will tell you that I'm a CDC man. There is nowhere in the country when you say that there will be any option. Or
when you start being vocal as you were a couple of years back, the current government might try to pull you over financially.
Beside that, You know, I have a very good friends in this present government, like the finance minister, like the information minister. But you ask them, I don't frequently go to them, but they still know the higher men of the CDC. Because every time we meet at the CDC, they say, CDC strong man. Because they label me at that point. So
they call you CDC strongman.
Yeah. Because they know all of the time, all of my argument have been in the interest of the CDC. And all of the bullets that we took. Look, listen to me.
Do you have a plan to get former President Weah back into the presidency?
I was part of the program.
Do you have a plan?
Yeah, listen to me now. In my response, I was part of the program when President Weah said we are coming back. It is not only that we are coming back, we have to work proactively towards the pronouncement of us coming back. And we know that we have to deploy our men to continually engage our people in the trenches. Look, the people that we're referring to as the sedition,
when is the
ordinary people.
When is the right time to start that, Mr.
But
Kia?
they know the voices.
When is the right time, in your opinion, to start that?
There is no time beside any time. We're already in a time.
Now?
Our continual engagement and not engaging the people on falsehood. I mean, engaging the people by providing, factual information to our people. So, my brother, let me say this. On this radio, let me say to you, the nomination of Weah, who just actively participated in the gone election, actively, even in the war room, pronouncing figure in favor that were never pronounced by election commission. Look, the nomination of him, subsequently acting now, should wake up all opposition political party. Look, the political party need to invoke Article 17 to assemble, to speak to our leader, to understand that the fundamental right of the people don't have to be violated. Do you know honor Article 17 is the fundamental right of the people? Read chapter 3 of the 1986 Constitution. They say the fundamental right of all citizens from Article 11 to 26. Those provisions within the 1986 Constitution are the fundamental right of you and myself. So,
what are you saying?
The opposition political party don't have to take it lightly. Listen now, politics is about engaging and confronting. We have to confront the issues. I'm using the word confrontation because it needs the opposition political party. I admire them. Like statement from the ANC and other political party. That is not enough. All of these opposition political parties need to come together to assemble, to speak to our international partner, because we are talking about maintaining and sustaining the peace and stability of this country. It lies on the issue that have to do with elections. So the election commission had to be guarded. This is why in the 1986 Constitution, if you look there, under Article 89, it talk about 3 constitutional commissions. They say the General Auditing Commission, the Civil Service Commission, and the National Election Commission. These are the 3 constitutional commissions. That is why people that sit at the position, the law requires that it should be a tenure position. It is not that the president waking up to take just a unilateral decision. It is not about the president's executive power. And now what the executive power talk about. So if you read chapter 6 of the 1986 Constitution that talk about the president power ranging from Article 50 to 64, You will get to know. In part, Article 54.
What will happen electorally if the president insists that Jonathan Weah stays on and he goes to be confirmed by the Senate?
Let me say this. When the people assemble, the president will not insist. Yes, honor the principle and the tendency of democratization or democracy. No. The government is for the people, by the people, and of the people. Honor that doctrine. No day. President Boaka will say that. Because if you do that, Liberia will continue to be, paying wasteful money. Like in the case of the matter that happened at Enfield. Today, Liberia as a country is about to pay another wasteful money to Dr. Dubenya, the scientist. Because they act make it very clear.
So, before we can open the line, you've recovered, you're ready now, you are fortified, you are politically grounded, ready to join the battle, facing the opposition, Unity Party, because anybody you're going against, they are your opposition. So we can also refer to them as opposition as they refer to us as opposition. You are ready to join the battle to ensure that we are returns 2029.
You know, I've been a soldier on the field and fighting for the Mighty Congress for Democratic Change all along.
Yeah, see, you are strong.
I will never meet my word.
Thank God you recover because you're sounding like the normal Richard Care.
And because we are school to the issue. Look, there is why. You know, when you go to political science, it talk about Liberian government and politics. Under that course, it talk about the three branches of government. Their constitutional and statutory functions. That is why our Liberia geopolitics is so unique and structured. So it's not anybody who come on the radio to speak innuendos about Liberian geopolitics if you are not informed.
That means you're going to spread your tentacles. You're going to move from radio stations to radio station. You're going to start discussing the issues everywhere.
We need to be armed.
Vis-a-vis Weah returns 2029.
We need to be armed politically.
But you are already
because we are prepared.
But you are already
prepared physically to go to the trenches. Use this medium, the platform, to speak to our people. We've been on the stage.
I know. All right, Richard here. All right.
We're not twatting.
No. Let's take
we're not shivering.
Let's take few calls.
We're not wavering. We remain consistent and persistent on the issues. You know how many constitutional violations that the president entered into, and the 45 years experience in governance of Mr. Boakai. You know what I mean?
He got 45 years experience?
Oh, it was 43 or 42 plus the 3 years. Is that 45? I used to know mathematics, man, from the beginning.
But you don't know much now. Richard, yeah.
Same anonymous.
Let's take a few calls. We're already slipping into our closing time. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97 0777 9803 75. That's the women's line. Few calls to Richard here. And then we're out. The man is back on the scene after battling illness for a year to get Unity Party up. Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Sam.
Yeah, let's hear you quick.
Sam, let me say hats off to Comrade Care. You know, I was just sitting listening to Comrade Care. Everything that Comrade Care said on the show today, it is just a fact. You know, we have to graduate from this Facebook thing and get on the traditional media, which is the radio. Not many of our people understand this Facebook thing. The old man in Bokon Chile will not know anything about Facebook. So we need to use the traditional media and tell our people the exercise of this government. So the CDC need to wake up and get on the traditional radio in this time, because there have been a lot of violations carried out by this president who, quote unquote, have been said to us that he's a 42-year experience man, now he's in 45. But we
All right, David.
Experience. So we need to get out there.
All right,
Thank
David King.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get to the women's line. Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Error Council. Asamoah.
Hey, Mama.
Hombre, I enjoy you for long and start hearing you. Well, I want to preface your talk. You left for Joshua Saki. Joshua Saki, you forget where you talk plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
The initial youth chair, Joshua Saki.
No, after he Geraldine King.
No, but when I say initial, I mean from the beginning. You were youth chair before even he become chairman. Yeah,
he brought our vision. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
All right, no council. Hello. Hey.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you quick.
Yes, sir, don't win. Yes, sir, don't win. Thanks for our West Point. The men are maybe strong in CDC. And the men are in Cedar there. The men are giving strong hand for CDC. Anyway, so let's go. Let's go to the front line. Oh, you so go to the front line. Remember someone who was there. He said, let's pass. Anyway, we'll go there. And the men are giving strong hand. The other men got to go and do foolishness to himself, which means Achi Pom to me, say foolish. We are in a battle line for our team. So thank you, Papa. We welcome you. Come back to your work. Come back to your party. Thank you, Papa. Thank you very much. Happy I hear your voice today. Coming back to the party. Thank you very much. That God all is strength. No power person. Thank you. I'm your prayer. Take care. Thank you.
Let's go to the men's line. Hello.
Hello, St. Andrew. How are you?
Fine.
Good. My name is J. Henry Now. I know I always following you, but I had a call. But actually, to be frank, my name is J. Henry Now, and I call from Fennel. My brother, I want to tell you, thank you very much. You know, you had to be consistent, persistent. You had to show your loyalty to certain group of people or whosoever that you think you believe in. For me, I believe in Georgia so much. I can remember vividly in Abidjan, from there, Danane, all the one coming down to Liberia. So nobody can change my mind. For us, we joined the CDC since 2005. They ran behind me in Grand Basso, number 3B, Grand Basso County, in the night when I run the campaign. Nobody sent me money. That one they call one moment they who was running whatsoever there. They were the one that actually made people to run behind me at the time. So they say this. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always supporting CDC, and I know that CDC will succeed 2029. The only thing that we have to do is that to empower each other, be actually bold to yourself and to others to see our best. The person in the studio, that my brother in the studio. For you myself, I think we can work together, because the way you speak and the scenarios that you are giving is in line with mine. In 2025.
Okay,
so I beg you, I will let you get your number whatsoever. And then we can see how we can work together. Because for me, I let it be part of the country.
Give your number. Give your number, Richard Kia will get it.
Yeah. It's 0776.
Yeah.
822. 767.
All right.
Yeah, even if you want people, you'll see everything I talk about.
What is the full name? What is the full name?
My name is J. Henry Nan.
Okay.
N-A-H-N.
N-A-H-N. J. Henry Now. All right.
I'll
get the Richard here. Hello. Let's go back to the women's line. Hello.
Yeah.
Your line cracking or is not that clear.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just change your location and call back, Mama Becky. Your line not too clear. Yeah, just change your location. Walk from where you are, and then you call back. Hello.
Hello, Sandro.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on the discussion. Anyway, I'm Joseph UK. I call from Japan Freeway Drive. I want to commend the battlecraft man, Richie, Asamowanti, Blamo. I want to commend you. You are saying all. One good thing that this crap from your talking is for a man or a one to be stable. I know you are a one that's stable. With all this, that God before you, breaking money, giving you money, never change your mind. Never change your thought. You remain who you are. So I commend you on that point. And I want us to come back again as you people were before, to re-strategize, to begin to re-strategize, to begin to guide the people so that we can again do it for our nation. You are doing it for nation. You are not doing it for people. Thank you for affording me the time, Brother Andrew, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
You too. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Testimony Adrian. I do call from Jacob Camp. Thank you ever so much, Mr. Andrew, for your talking point. Actually, let me first of all extend my thanks and appreciation to my own senior brother in the house there, Mr. Kier. Mr. Kier, I get to know Mr. Kier from the African Methodist Episcopal University between 2016 and 2017. So, Senior Comrade, I must salute you. Large senior man within the studio over there, actually, he's always prepared. He's always prepared. Even right now, you tell that man to present all of his documents. I know about that. But on the campus of the AM, he's always prepared. So for some of us, Mr. Kier, if you want young men to work alongside with you to do every other activity as related to bringing back Dr. George Weah to the presidency come 2029, I wanted the president that is willing to work with you guys. So thank you ever so much for having me on the line. My name remains the same Testimony Adrian. I do call from Jacob Town. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. So let's get back to Mr. Kier. You can respond and give your part and comments. We're into closing time.
Well, Mr. Andrew, as I said, like the people in West Point, which is, or normally I continue to say, the densely slum populated township of West Point, because that's my name. That when I measure, I'm calling from the densely slum populated township of West Point. Any contemporary, journalist in the media landscape of Liberia will remember, even during the Peter Kwekwe time, all of these guys stand as president of the PUL. I work along with the PUL. I even brought people that went to the legislature, of which the Camara Act was enacted into law. All of these things, I work along with the media, with Peter Kwekwe and all of the guys, up to Daniel Nyakuna at that time, and up to my brother from Grand Crew time. But let me say this. What we continue to say about consistency, even when Madam President asked me that time, I said, Madam President, thank you for working in our community and seeing me and my people here. As you walk into camp, you didn't see the deplorable condition of our road. Madam President, I'm kindly asking you and your good office, since in the 80 door building road, our road is dilapidated. And Madam Sally said, Kofi will take note in 2 weeks' time that how the road since 1980 was rehabilitated in West Point, meaning paving a new quota from LEC gate straight to the end of the quota in West Point. The records are there. Because we were not chasing our personal aggrandizement. This is what politics is about. So what, normally our people say everything is politics. The denotative meaning of the word politics is majority interest in the context of democracy. So our issue has been majority interest driven. If not so, Comrade St. Andrew, I should be in America now relaxing for a long time because the offer were many. Because in the offer I could get money and leave the country a long time. But I stood with all that, even from my office, when my passport was taken to the embassy. Because when I refused on the support of Robert Selly issue in 2014 against Senator Weah at that time, because of that, my document was withdrawn from the embassy, which is my passport, that I didn't travel to the United States of that year. If you want to know, then you ask Sylvester Carrica Williams Jr., who served in the former president's office, that they normally call CA. Sylvester Carrica Williams Jr. Yes. So these are stems that we took yesterday, because in democracy, in politics, this is what it's all about. But people don't know. Politics is not about dangling. It's about saying the real thing and being consistent and persistent on what you do. Though they say without poll, what other issue of that talk. But we know one day when the reward comes, these people will be at the wayside and they will be seeing us. And I know that the day is near. That is why we want to use this medium to encourage our brethren in the various community throughout the 15 sub-political division. Remain consistent. But what we continue to say, because the national legislature has played their role on the 54th, subsequently the 55th, on the issue of the delineation. Now, the National Election Commission had to be very quick to come in to conduct the electoral constituency delineation very soon, before the time of voter registration. Because if you conduct voter registration before conducting the electoral constituency delineation, automatically that what pull the guy in Bannerville, which is District 11, out. The doctor, how you call him? Who want to be senator?
The original countryman?
Original countryman. That was denying. Because the voter registration, if you conduct voter registration before conducting electoral constituency delineation, it will put other people out of the district of which they have already worked in initially, in terms of canvassing what the people already waiting for them. And then delineation put them out of that particular electoral district. Automatically, that will play to original countrymen. So this is why those of us that have been political activists, we will use the medium to speak to the three branches of government as to their role that they have to play. So the election commission have to be timely. For me, I know, I'm convinced that we will not be at that particular election commission. The only thing that the people or the opposition have to do is invoke Article 17. Assemble and speak. Assemble and speak. 2 to 3 times the opposition to assemble consistently on that one issue. There is no day Omen Boaka will tell you that we don't have to be there. Then it means it's not fair to democracy. I know with his 45 years experience that he claimed to have. Look at the missteps, the constitutional misstep, statutory missteps of our president. The mayor was no more in the system. You have people in the system. Why the co-chair cannot be acting until the mayor you nominated? Why waiting for the comeback of the senators from their break to be submitted for confirmation hearing, subsequently why confirm and to be commissioned and take the job? Why are you rushing? So in me, there's a motive. So I know that the opposition have to use their constitutional right, which is to invoke Article 17. Assemble.
The lawmakers want to expel opposition member Representative Yeke Koluba. Briefly on that.
In closing, you know, I'm not I've not, in any point in time of my year or in my political sojourn, support Yeke Koluba because of its own political utterance. We believe in fair engagement in politics. You don't have to be abusive. I mean, going offensive. No. Be constructive and engage the issue on precedent, on references. So for me, I know that at the level of the legislature, it's their power to suspend their member, and they have the power to expel a member. But in so doing so, you have to be cognizant of the person's fundamental right, which is Chapter 3, Article 18, due process. You have to accept that. So with all of what they want to engage in, if you don't be careful and give it due process in that process before taking the action, the court is there. And the court will call the legislature to undergo start. I mean, if you go against the law, they have to call you back, remind you, Sadoko Anti, because any other wrong procedure that will be conducted to remove Yeke or to suspend him unconstitutionally or statutorily, he will go back. So that's not my argument, because I'm not a supporter of Yeke. I want Yeke to be an intellectual. Yeke to engage issue intellectually, using, as a lawmaker, using statutory and constitutional references in your argument.
All right, Mr.
You don't have to be abusive. Yeah, because it is not the norm. It is not normal practice in democracy. Democracy and democratization have to do with fair intellectual exchanges by engaging your opponent in ensuring. And that is why I know
all right, Chief.
The CDC will not be combated like the United Party when they were in opposition by calling unwanted demonstration, burning tires or in the street. But honor this nomination of the president forcefully. This guy is to be acting. The opposition have to invoke Article 17. Peacefully assemble. And President Boaka will listen by withdrawing that nomination of widow as submit.
Thank you ever so much for stopping by, Richie Kier. Give the outro. My man, give your outro. That the weekend, let's go. Give your outro. For me, I will only say Richie Kier.
Richie Blamu Asamu Wanti Namo Ye West Point and Hamu make here.
The battle cry?
The OU. Yon si obele but the OU. The OU yon ni jiati but the OU.
Again?
The OU yon ni wanti but the OU.
Which one they call Sibele 20? What is it?
Siobele 20.
Oh, Sio.
Siobele.
Oh.
They say if you don't ever set it down, if you don't ever see your belly,
I've heard people saying that lately. It looks like I want to be telling Boaga, if you ever put it out. Oh,
if you don't ever the low, set it down. See your belly 20.
That's cool.
Yes, see your belly 20.
All right, sir. Thank you for passing by. I appreciate it. Thank you ever so much, Richie Kier. And this is how we go home on the show. Thank you ever so much for being with us. Real Talk. And this is how it takes a 2-week break. Real Talk takes 2 weeks break. The station is relocating. So we are off today right after Newton Tukma and his guides are done with face the issues that will be doing it for broadcast in Central Monrovia Front Street. All of our neighbors, our good friends, our sisters, our brothers, our customers, everybody, we say thank you for everything they support in every aspect from Real Talk perspective and from an institutional perspective. Newton Tupau will bid you people farewell this evening when he comes in. The next time we'll be broadcasting from Painesville. Yes. So thank you all, and thanks for the support. Just so you are reminded, the King Support Basket, please drop whatever you can. The works are going on. Works are going on the new building. The new building. Remember now, it is a new site. So works are going on. And what you've been experiencing here, you're not going to experience again. You see why we tell you exercise patience with us, accept our appeal, because the boss is doing a lot more behind the scene. You come, you're turning in 8 o'clock, while the boss is on, pam, LEC gone. Realtor on before he can come on, LEC gone. You're tuning here there. When Israel comes in the morning, you're getting ready to come on, let's talk about it, pam, LEC gone. When the show is on, pam, LEC gone. All of you is raising concern. Yeah, what happened? What happened? We can get a show. We can get a station. We just, so that's why the boss, along with his team, fighting the best again, and it's working well, so that we'll not have interruptions, sudden stop here and there. We'll not have that rapture stuff. Yeah? Because when you're saying broadcast, you're saying regularity. And that's why we're asking you, with reaching there, we're not far again, whatever you can, please drop it in our support basket. The send wave 0555 885 885 0555 885 885. Liberia's mobile money number 0777 017 885 0777 017 885. FC Barcelona, the world's greatest team, is on at 7 p.m. against Atletico Madrid. Domestic football returns after the international break. Yes, FC Barcelona, we are on Saturday. Thank you ever so much. And this is how we go home. Let's go home.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.